Alright, in this video, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 teams in the NFL heading into week 11. So at number 10, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. This is a team that I think is being a little overlooked. I think Justin Herbert's been becoming a little bit underrated given how talented he is and how much he's been able to produce. They do have a top defense as usual. They're very well coached in games and they just all around look like a very solid team. Number 9, I have the Denver Broncos. Of course, they have had the easiest schedule in the NFL thus far, but at the same time, they have found ways to win games. They look competent, they look composed, and if they just sharpen up a little bit come playoff time, I think they'll be a really hard team to beat. Number 9, I have the Buffalo Bills. Of course, they do have the reigning NFL MVP. They haven't looked as dominant as they have in previous years. Multiple losses and looking very inconsistent week to week. But with that said, they are very, very well coached, have a lot of the experience, and I do have faith that they'll finish as the top 5 team in the NFL. Number 6, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is kind of a reasonable place to put them, considering they have started off a little bit rough, but at the same time, you can't count them out. They do have those flashes. They look like multiple-time Super Bowl champions that we know them as. Patrick Mahomes is, of course, excellent, and they're definitely a team that you don't want to see come playoff time. At number 6, I have the Lions. I was honestly considering putting them at 5, but they were one of the most dominant teams in the NFL last year. They haven't been able to put it together quite as efficiently as they did so far this season, but they're about as talented and as well coached as any other team. I don't think anyone believes that this team's going to be an easy out in the playoffs. They don't exactly have the toughest schedule remaining. So they're definitely a team that's going to make some noise in the playoffs. But I do have the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles at number 5. They haven't looked as good as they have in previous years. Saquon's not been able to produce the same extent that they did last year. They are very dominant. They're winning hard games. They have a very good defense. And we know that they've been able to win on the big stage. Even on their bad days, this is where they sit. Number 4, I have the New England Patriots, who have been looking a lot better than people expected them to be this year. This early, Drake May is only, I think, 23 years old. He's in the MVP running, have the defense, have talent on offense, and Mike Vrabel's been showing that he knows what to do, how to get this team to win games. So they're kind of a sneaky number 4. I think a lot of people are overlooking how good this team really is, but look at their record and look at their wins. I don't know what else you could ask for a top 4 team. Number 3, I have the Indianapolis Colts. As much as people want to say that you haven't been able to see this team in the playoffs, you don't know what the team's capable of doing. People are comparing them to the Steelers from a few years ago, who this season off, I think it was 11-1, and ended up losing in the playoffs early. This team just looks really, really good. Jonathan Taylor is playing as good as about any running back we've seen in recent years. He's in the MVP running, and it's hard to see a world where this team doesn't compete in the playoffs if you're just trying to observe very objectively. And number 1 and 2, as of currently, these were kind of close, but both from the NFC West. I have the Seahawks at 2 and the Rams at 1. The reason I have the Rams at 1 is because this team is basically full of as much talent as they had in the year they won the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford is playing probably the best season of his career, and they're only going to get better. We saw how close they were to beating the Eagles in the playoffs last year. Just a couple plays went differently. They probably would have made it to the Super Bowl. And it's just hard to say that I have as much faith in Sam Darnold and the Seahawks as they do in this Rams team that we've seen be able to perform, and we've seen how dominant they can look. But at the same time, their matchup this week I think is going to be huge. It is to say it shouldn't be used to determine which team is better because the game is in LA, but I think it will be good to see how they match up against each other at this point in the season. So that's where I have the rankings currently. Rams number 1, Seahawks number 2, Colts 3, Patriots 4, Eagles 5, Lions 6, Chiefs 7, Bills 8, Broncos 9, and the Chargers at 10. So let me know if there's anything you change. Let me know if any team is too high or too low. What you think?